Does your partner apologize to you in a way that doesn't feel quite right? Do their apologies seem to lead to more emotional turmoil and not to conflict resolution? If you answered yes to these questions, I am so glad that you are here. In this video, you're going to learn about how narcissistic abusers weaponize their apologies so that you can avoid being manipulated by them. It is very powerful information. Hi, I'm Ulna Sojourn. You probably found your way to this video because you drew the apology card from my Empowered Empath deck, which helps empaths break free from narcissistic abusers. Wrap your mind around this. Apologies are used by manipulators to keep you under their control. When you and I or other non-manipulators give an apology, it's to work towards relationship repair and because we have genuine remorse. That is not the case with manipulators like narcissists. They will say anything in order to get their needs met. And if they need to apologize in order to get their way, they will easily lie and make an apology to keep you on their hook. The tricky thing about this is that it will seem like an apology, but it is really not one. It's a manipulation. But there is some good news. With a little education and practice, which is what you're going to get here in this video, you can soon become an apology expert as you learn how to spot a manipulative apology. So in this video, my goal for you is that you will learn how to analyze apologies so you can quickly understand if it's insincere or sincere. And once you've done that, you'll be very empowered to identify the red flags when someone is manipulating you through an apology and make the right decisions for yourself. We're also going to make sure that you learn how to spot the green flags of healthy, relationship repairing, sincere apologies so that you can choose the right people to keep in your life. Okay, are you ready to dive in? It's heavy stuff, but good information for you to have if you are working on breaking free from a narcissistic abuser. So, to reiterate, not all apologies are actual apologies. And recognizing the quality of the apology will help you more clearly see the true nature of the person that you're dealing with. Narcissists often offer insincere apologies when they're confronted with your boundaries. An apology from a non-manipulative person will have a very different look and feel. When you receive an apology, I'm going to teach you how to closely look at, number one, how you feel, and number two, what was said. There are amazing clues in the apologies themselves that will help you identify if they are sincere or insincere. And we're going to break all of that down and give you some benchmarks so that you have some really concrete things to look at when you analyze the apologies that you receive. So let's start off with insincere apologies. An insincere apology has the intention of either keeping you quiet, ending the conversation, or making the conversation all about the narcissist. An insincere apology has no resolution to the matter at hand, and there's no genuine reconciliation. So we're going to look at how an insincere apology feels, because how apologies feel are one of the key ways that you can tap into your own inner strength and power and knowledge to analyze an apology. So, insincere apologies feel condescending. They feel disingenuous. You may feel invalidated. You may feel unheard. You may feel misunderstood. You may feel angry. You may even feel manipulated. So an insincere apology, you don't feel any remorse. The manipulator has no remorse for how their actions made you feel, how they hurt you, what the impact of their actions were on you. And you'll hear that. You'll hear their lack of remorse, and you'll hear the fact that they just don't care how you feel. You'll hear that come through in the apology. They may say the word sorry, but it doesn't actually feel that they are truly sorry. So your action is to take a look at how you feel when you receive an apology. Examine your feelings and use those as a guidepost. A lot of times, especially if we're just starting to realize that we're dealing with a manipulator, a lot of times we empaths ignore that little voice inside of us that says something's off here. This apology doesn't feel quite right. It's not how I would apologize. And a lot of times we'll give a manipulator the benefit of a doubt. Oh, maybe they're just not a skilled, communicator. I want to urge you, don't do that. Don't do that. Listen to how you feel, and that's where your power is. Okay, so we talked about how insincere apologies feel. And next, we're going to look at what an insincere apology looks like. So, an insincere apology is full of reasons, justifications, and excuses. The person apologizes, but then they explain their reason for mistreating you was somehow your fault or just not their fault. They take no responsibility for their actions. So you may hear something like, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Whereas if they were actually taking responsibility for their actions, you would hear something like, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. Or I'm sorry the thing that I did hurt you. Do you see the difference? Let's hear that one more time. The insincere apology takes no responsibility. I'm sorry you feel that way. You see how different that is from I'm sorry I did this horrible thing that hurt you? They're putting the responsibility on you. I'm sorry you feel that way. Sucks for you. It's kind of what they're saying. Insincere apologies are more about the manipulator. And there's little or no focus on your feelings. And that's because manipulators don't care how you feel. They just want you to be under their thumb, under their control, and that they've hurt you or done something that's, been damaging to you. They don't care. And that's why they don't focus on the hurt that they've caused and how you feel, or that they caused that. That's why, and that's very painful to hear, but it's true. Other ways that insincere apologies look, they may agree to apologize only if you meet their conditions. And word choices can be very telling. With insincere apologies, you often will hear the words if or but. So for example, I'm sorry if I offended you. That's insincere. Or I'm sorry if I offended you, but blah, 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 blah. A sincere apology does not contain the words if or but. So these are great clues as you are building your apology analyzation expertise. Okay, so we've looked at how insincere apologies feel and how they look. Next is an action step for you. So you want to take an apology that you have received and you want to analyze it against these criteria. Put your detective hat on and look really carefully at what actually happened. What was said? What words were used? How did you feel? Okay, we've learned about insincere apologies. Next, let's look at sincere apologies. We're going to examine how they feel and how they look, and you will get benchmarks so that you can analyze apologies for sincerity. So, sincere apologies are apologies that are genuine. They're given from the heart. Their intention is to work to repair and rebuild a relationship and to bring two people together. With a sincere apology, you become closer to your partner after the apology, or at least you're on the path to becoming closer together. And it feels like you're a team. With a sincere apology, you feel heard, that your feelings matter, and that you are cared for. So, real big difference from the insincere apology. So, let's break it down as to how a sincere apology feels. Number one, your partner cares about how their actions made you feel. You feel respected, you feel seen, you feel heard. Your partner admits that they made a mistake, and their apology feels genuine to you. You sense that they are genuinely remorseful. They genuinely feel sorry that they did something that was hurtful or damaging to you. You can just feel that and know that because um, it's in their intention of their apology, and you sense that genuine remorse. Also, you feel that the other person is going to make an effort in the future to not repeat whatever their mistreatment was. And, that's something that you will only be able to see in time if their actions align with their words. But that is a really big clue as to the sincerity of their apology. Okay, we talked about how sincere apologies feel. Now we're going to talk about what sincere apologies look like. Number one, it contains the words, I am sorry that I did XYZ that hurt you. You hear that in there? They are taking responsibility for their actions. I am sorry I hurt you. It does not include, we didn't hear any ifs, we didn't hear any buts. We didn't hear any blame shifting back to you or making you feel guilty. A sincere apology doesn't include any of that. Let's look at some examples. Okay, so hopping back to insincere apologies, I'm going to give you 4 insincere apology examples and then 1 sincere apology example. Insincere, I am sorry that you felt that way. I'm sorry you feel bad, but I'm sorry if I offended you. I'm sorry, but you're too sensitive. Have you heard that one before? A lot of empaths have when dealing with manipulators. So if the apology is sincere, it's going to sound more like the following. I am sorry that I did the thing that hurt you. You see the difference between those? They sound very different, the words are different, and they feel very different. So we've talked about insincere apologies and sincere apologies, what they feel like and what they look like. So you've got a lot of really good info to be discerning with apologies that you receive in the future. In our final section on this video, I'm going to guide you through taking action. So when you receive an apology, examine it. Use the information that you've learned here to determine if the apology is sincere or insincere. I strongly recommend that you journal about the situation, the words that were said, and how you felt. Write down the specific reasons why you decided the apology was sincere or insincere. And by the way, best practice and something that really helped me become an empowered empath who is able to break free from narcissistic abuse was journaling about my experiences. And so I strongly recommend that to you as one of my top tips. Journal about the apologies that you receive. You can journal about apologies that come in the future, but you can also take some time to sit down and journal about apologies that you've received in the past. Here are some prompts that you can use to examine the apologies that you've received. Feel free to come back to this point in the video anytime that you want to analyze an apology. What words were used in the apology? Write down precisely what was said. Compare it to the example sentences in this video. Are there any ifs or buts? Do you feel respected or blamed? Did the person take responsibility for their actions? How did you feel when you received the apology? Does it feel like the situation resolved? Do you feel worse after receiving the apology? Do you feel emotionally safe around this person? After the apology, did the person repeat the behaviors that they apologized for, or did they actually change their behavior? If you received an insincere apology, how do you feel about your actions and your response to the situation? What changes do you want to make in your relationship with this person? Is there anything that you might want to do differently the next time a similar problem arises? Thanks so much for joining me in this video. I hope you found this information helpful in building your skills as an apology expert. It's really important to quickly identify insincere apologies versus genuine apologies. And now you are empowered with the information that you need to identify when someone's manipulating you through apologies. And you can use this knowledge to make good choices for yourself, walk away from unhealthy relationships, and walk towards healthy relationships.